There are so many things in our body, in our belief systems that create these stories, create these things in our body that subconsciously cost so much life force energy. And then we don't have any energy left to get out of bed. I grew up in an environment where we struggled a lot with money. We needed to get support from the government and we almost lived on the street, and sometimes have a little greedy old man that's like inside of me. And then someone asks, hey, can I maybe borrow something? It's like, no, because this is mine. I need to keep myself safe. I'm not safe if I don't hold on to this. That part needs attention and love too. And as long as we don't give that awareness and give that presence to that part, it's gonna stay there and scream and get louder until you give it the attention.
Today I sat down with Felicia Fass, a psychedelic and breathwork facilitator that guided me and many others through month-long journeys of how to integrate these experiences. And this gave me such valuable insights in how we can all move a little bit closer to who we truly are.
Just like I am a complex individual being, so is every other person on this earth. Which means that we all have different approaches, we all have different things that work for us. And that can be frustrating to the ego because it's like, but I want an answer now and I want it fast and I want it to work always. But that's not how it works. And you can have that patience with yourself, just because if you genuinely look at yourself, all the experiences you've gone through, face value, as if it's a different person, you can't help but have respect for who you've become. We have been through so much in the micro moments, in the moments that you are fighting with your own ego, your own thoughts, your own feelings that no one knows about. All those micro moments add up to who you are now. And that's the only person you can compare yourself with.
Damn. We came full circle there.
Yeah.
How does life look like when you are not self-aware?
You're just kind of floating through life. You are the experience of life instead of experiencing life. I'm not here to promote the path that I've been walking. Everyone's walking their own path, and some people want to stay not self-aware and just float through life because they are enjoying it, and other people want to actually consciously experience it all. The symptoms you might notice is that you are behaving in a certain way or you are feeding in a certain way. There are cycles that are just repeating and repeating and repeating, and you don't understand why. You don't understand where it comes from and how this manifests itself, and whether there's any control you can have on creating a different path for yourself. Because once the first step in everything is first become aware of the problem. If you don't know the problem, you don't know what you need to solve. So the awareness is kind of key in that. And if you haven't really explored that realm yet, you kind of get stuck. You don't even know where to begin. You don't know what is causing all of the things in your life that don't feel opening and liberated and contractive to you. So the first step is always kind of bringing awareness into, hey, this is a pattern that I notice, or I'm struggling with self-worth, or this and this and this, and to really trace back of where does this come from? Where did it start? Often it has to do with the childhood and the caregiver-child dynamic. And there are all these beliefs that get created, and your environment that say, this is good, this is bad, this is who you should be, this is not who you should be, this is how you get love, this is how you don't get love. All those things create belief systems within yourselves that will then create this program from which you will move and take action and take steps, which might be in complete out of alignment with your soul and the steps that you actually want to make, the life that you actually want to embody.
What does alignment mean for you?
Alignment to me is, I'm very feeling based. So I can feel it in my body that it's literally every puzzle piece just coming straight into alignment as if it's one line. But on a more mental way, I see alignment as, this is who I want to be, or this is who I want to embody. This is what feels opening in my heart, in my soul. This is what brings me joy. This is what brings me aliveness. And this is the path that I want to walk, and to then actually walk that path, to not have a gap between who you want to be and who you are, but to align that as one.
when I think about self-development in like the online community, you basically have two camps: self-love, spiritual princesses, and discipline bros.
Yeah.
When I'm stuck, when I feel like I'm in this cycle again of like doing bad habits, like scrolling on social media, just laying in bed, just not going to the gym, I often find it hard to choose between self-love or discipline, tough love.
Which is also self-love, though.
Yeah, so like sometimes it can feel like that is only digging the hole deeper, but sometimes it feels good. And also with self-love, letting go, like actually allowing myself to lay in my bed, do nothing, scroll, whatever. Like, how do I choose?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's a very nuanced question because, like you say, sometimes one step feels better and sometimes the other feels better. What I notice, though, is that your body is already kind of telling you what it is that you need. So in the moments that you feel stuck, you feel exhausted, all you want to do is just lay in bed. You don't have the motivation to do X, Y, and Z, even though that's what you mentally want to do. Your body is already telling you that there's something going on. It needs rest, or there's something that is taking away your life force energy. So how I approach it is to go into, what is that thing that is taking my life force energy? What is the thing that makes me feel so exhausted right now? Whether that's a certain emotion, a certain thought pattern, a certain belief system, a certain experience that I had, doubts that I have, not believing in the future that I'm creating. Whatever it might be, to then sit with it, get into my body, feel what's alive in my body, feel the contraction, and give it space. And then ask it, what do you need right now? What would make you feel safe? What would make you feel opening? What would create the opportunity for the life force to come back into me so that I can use it the way that I want to, instead of giving it away into something that is putting me in this stuck energy right now. But it can be really difficult at times to find that nuance on when to take action and when not. And I think that's something that for everyone will be different, and everyone needs to kind of learn how to speak the language of their own body and their own system, and learn, oh, now I notice that I'm now resting and I'm trying out the resting, but it's only making me more restless and more ugh. Then maybe go for a run, maybe go do something else or take those steps that you've been wanting to do. But if you take those steps and you notice, no, this is actually making me feel worse, then go into the other one. Like, you kind of need to learn how to navigate your own system, your own body, and how it's communicating with you. I don't think there's one answer that works for everyone. Like, this is when.
What can we do to be better self-aware of our own body?
So something that I bring almost all of my clients in, and I've got really, really good results with, is, I call it body-centered coaching, where you really communicate with your body. And this might sound a little far-fetched for people who have never done it, and there might come a lot of doubt of, can I trust what comes up? Can I whatever? But if you decide to try this out, I really want to invite you to just give it a chance and see what comes up, and you can make a judgment later on what you're going to do with it. But it's to step into your body, become aware of, how is the energy moving? How is my breath going? Are there any contractions? Are there things that are flowing very easily? Bring that awareness into your body. And then you can start connecting with your intention. You can start connecting with the thing that you want answers about. And you can ask yourself, where does this live in my body right now? And maybe you feel a certain contraction come up, or maybe your awareness gets to some point in your body. Start focusing on that. And don't try and change it. Don't try and judge it. Just observe it. See if it has a color. See if it has maybe a certain shape or certain texture to it. Become familiar with it.
And you mean like the feeling? Like
feeling in your body. like the actual feeling in your body.
Okay, so I'm laying in bed and I feel shitty. So if you take that example, how would that go?
Okay, so you're laying in your bed and you feel shitty. Feeling shitty is a judgment. It's not a feeling. So that's already through the mind. We need to go into the body. So you are laying in bed, and whatever the shitty means to you, you are not feeling the way that you want to. Then you connect with your body and you become aware. How is the energy moving? Maybe shitty means to you that you are very restless. Maybe shitty means to you that you feel exhausted. Maybe you feel a contraction in your heart center. Maybe your belly feels very tense and very like... Just become aware of how the energy in your body is moving.
Just emotions.
Yeah. Like it's actual, like I'm putting words to feelings.
Yeah.
But it's like when people say feel your feelings, it's not I'm feeling angry. What is anger? I feel anger. That's, you are forcing it. It's an actual, how does the sensation in my body feel? So when you connect with your body and you just get familiar with what's going on, you are feeling the sensations, just like you are rubbing your hand. You can feel the sensation. There are always sensations going on in your body. So by connecting with purely that, without putting a label on it, without creating a story on why that is there or what that might mean or whatever it may be, just feel the sensation. You are starting to open your field to a different kind of awareness, and also allowing yourself to receive different answers that might come from more of a subconscious place than the mind. And the mind is the thing that kind of gets you stuck often. So in that moment, you just feel the sensations, and then you connect with one contraction. When you ask yourself, where does this shitty feeling, this thing that keeps me stuck or that makes me not want to take action or whatever, where does that live in my body? And trust the first thing that comes up, or the first thing that your awareness gets sent to in your body. And just stay present with that for a bit. And again, feel the sensations. You don't have to force anything, but you can get curious about it of, does it have a shape? Does it have a color? Does it have a texture? If nothing comes up, nothing comes up. If something does come up, let it be there and get familiar with it. And then you can say hi to it and you can start communicating with it. During that communication, it's very, very important that, again, trust the first thing that comes up. When you ask the question, there's often a first response immediately. Go from there, build on that. Even if you think like, I don't know if that's it. Go from there. Afterwards, you can see, was that it or was that not it? But this is often your subconscious, your intuition giving you a response. So you are connected with your body, you are connected with the sensation, you are familiar with the shape and the color and how it's moving, whatever. Then you ask, hey, why are you here? Maybe the first thing comes up, protection. Okay, curious. Get curious about it. Protection. Why are you here to protect me? And then another answer comes up, whatever that answer might be. And then you keep asking questions and questions out of genuine curiosity from yourself. I can't give you a full list of questions because everything is different with every person because there are different answers. So allow from your own genuine curiosity to receive the questions that you want to ask and receive the answers until you eventually come to a point where you can ask the question of, okay, but what do you need to feel safe? Or what do you need to have a little bit less weight? Or whatever the feeling in your body told you that was the problem and why it's there, what does it need for it to be relieved a little bit? And then you can start giving that to yourself. So if, for example, protection is the answer that you got, and as you have gone through the journey, you come to the realization of, wow, the protection comes because I actually feel really unsafe to feel my feelings. And when I go and do this thing the environment doesn't feel safe for me to just be me and to express who I am and feel my feelings and whatever. So then it's like, okay, but how can I make you feel safe in this moment? And maybe that feeling says to just be with me right now, or to just feel what is there, what is alive without judgment. Or I just want you to give me a hug.
And now you're talking to your inner part.
Yeah, that sensation.
Is this inner child work? It feels a little bit like that, or
can be.
Like this inner feeling. It's like your emotional, like, yeah. I would think like this inner child that is like super upset or feels unsafe, or
sometimes, yeah. This technique can be used with so many different things. It can be used with actual inner child work, but it can also be used with other things. Like sometimes I, for example, sometimes have a little greedy old man that's like inside of me, or there's this this energy inside of me that's just like a almost demon-like bitch that just wants to hurt everything and everyone because it's angry and it's been hurt itself, and it just like and there's no compassion in it. And those are things that I don't really identify with as myself, because I am the full spectrum. But if I zoom into that little part, that part embodies those qualities. And that part needs attention and love too. And as long as we don't give that awareness and give that presence to that part, it's going to stay there and scream and get louder until you give it the attention. Because it wants something, it needs something. It's always there to serve you in some way, to protect you in some way. Because every part of you loves you. It's your mind that sometimes doubt it, but within your body, it loves you. So it's there for a loving reason. And it wants to be seen, it wants to be held. You just need to zoom in enough so that you can understand what it is that it needs.
How was this greedy old man protecting you then?
It's been a while ago. I need to let me see if I can remember.
Because you say there are these different personalities living inside of you, all these different little people that embody different specific qualities.
Different energies, different frequencies. Doesn't have to be people, but yeah.
Okay. And you had the greedy old man.
Yeah. I don't remember in full clarity anymore, but I can remember the greedy old man had to do with greed, where it felt like it was... I grew up in an environment where we struggled a lot with money when I was younger, and we needed to get support from the government, and we almost lived on the street, and there was a lot of hardship around that. During that time, this greedy old man got developed because it wanted to protect me, and because it wasn't sure on whether I would get my needs fulfilled. It wasn't sure whether I would get what I needed. It thought, okay, but then once I see something, I need to grab it. It needs to be mine, because I'm not sure if later I'm going to get the same opportunity. I don't know. So I need to take care of me first. So then it starts grabbing and start whatever. And then someone asks, hey, can I maybe borrow something? It's like, no, because this is mine. I need to keep myself safe. I'm not safe if I don't hold on to this. So it has this whole kind of energy and frequency to it that got developed when I was younger to protect myself so that I got what I needed. But now I'm at a point where that's no longer needed anymore. I don't have to be greedy. I can be abundant and I can be generous and it can flow. So it doesn't have to be there anymore. But that part doesn't fully trust that yet until I bring my awareness to it. And I communicate with it and it's like, hey, what's up? Why are you here? What's going on? It's like, yeah, I don't. And then I get that energy, like, no, talk to me. Use your words. What's going on? And then slowly it starts to communicate with me, and it starts to bring all of these problems to surface. And with my love, with my light, with my compassion, I can bring to its awareness of, hey, but I thank you for being here and for protecting me, especially in the time that I couldn't do it myself. But it's no longer needed anymore. I love you, but you don't have to be here anymore. You are released. You don't have to hold on. And often, like, even if I talk about it, I can feel this energy of, wow, and almost wanting to cry of, I don't have to hold on to this anymore. I can let go. Because for all those energies, it's intense to constantly be working and constantly be in this protective energy. But by bringing your compassion into it and like, hey, you don't need it anymore, it can slowly, and maybe you need to come back to that multiple times because it needs to build trust and really know, okay, I can actually let go. But by doing that time after time, it can slowly start to learn of, oh, but this grown-up version of you, you got this. I'm not needed anymore. And then all the energy that goes into that personality, into that greedy old man, into that contraction within your body, all the energy that usually subconsciously gets poured into that now gets released and is able to be poured into something else. So now you can start directing it into the things that you want. But it first needs to be released. And there are so many things in our body, in our belief systems that create these stories, create these things in our body that subconsciously cost so much life force energy. So much. And then we don't have any energy left to get out of bed.
Damn. We came full circle there.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to add, because you kind of brought it up, but it's about self-love. Because I just want to bring to light that there's a big misconception about self-love, where a lot of people like think about self-love and think about, oh, I can do that pizza because I love myself. Oh, I can lay in bed and watch Netflix all day because I deserve that. I love myself. I've worked hard. That's not always self-love. I want to make that very clear. Sometimes self-love is get yourself out of the bed and do the thing that you don't want to do, but you actually do want to do. Like, you know deep inside that this is going to make you feel better, so you do it. Like, really think about the person or the being in your life that you love so much. How would you treat them? If they do something where like, dude, take accountability. This is like, create your life. Do the thing that you want to do. Like, how would you respond to someone if they wouldn't love themselves, that you deeply, deeply love? How would you call them out on it? That's the same thing you need to do with yourself. You don't always pamper the person that you love so much. Sometimes you give them a hard call out because that's what they actually need. That's what actually the most loving thing to them, so that they can be the person that they want to be, instead of get stuck in this old version of them that they have already outgrown but are too afraid to step out of. So I just want to clarify that self-love isn't always rest and do nothing and be pamper yourself. Sometimes it's, I love you, get the fuck up.
Like, I know that I already asked, but like, you've talked a lot about something feels contractive, something feels opening. What do we do with the decisions that we make in our day-to-day? How do we know whether you need to kick yourself or love yourself?
Yeah. Well, it's both love, but I get your point. Like, okay. Very good question, because there are a lot of misconceptions about what love is. And love is something like, first you need to get clear on your definition on what does unconditional love mean to me. Now, you might have had a lot of different experiences in your life where you were learned that or taught that this is love and this isn't love, because maybe you had an abusive parent and they would hit you, and then afterwards they say, but I love you. Then the thing that you learn is, oh, this is love. That's not love. So first you need to get clear on what is the definition of unconditional love. By definition, unconditional love means no condition, not even the condition of I love you. There's a separation. That's the condition. Unconditional love means I am love. Then the question comes, what does love actually feel like? Some people haven't actually fully experienced that yet. But one thing that I think we can all agree on, whether it's you've been in love with someone or you felt love for an animal or for nature or whatever it is, when you genuinely connect with love, it feels opening. You can feel your frequency opening instead of contracting. And I can bring you into a little experiment for yourself, also for the people watching at home right now. I want to invite you to do this so that you can tune in with yourself what love actually means to you. So you can take a deep breath Just get into your body and become aware of how the energy is flowing in your body. Are your muscles tense? Is your tummy tense? Or is it all flowing nicely? Are you breathing through your chest or are you breathing through your belly? Without changing anything, just become aware, get familiar with it. And then I want to invite you to start connecting with a moment in your life where you felt so deeply in love. Whether it was in love with another person, in love with an animal, in love with nature, in love with an experience, but some moment in your life where you felt true love, like actual love. What happens in your field? What happens in your body? How is the energy different? How is it moving different? Maybe you are breathing more deeply through your belly instead of your chest. Maybe you can feel the muscles relax. Get aware without changing it. And now, and we're only going to be here for a little bit, I want to invite you to connect with a moment where you felt afraid. A moment where you felt maybe stuck or you felt those muggy energies. What happens with your energy now? Maybe you feel more contracted, more like you kind of want to close your body. Maybe your breath becomes more shallow. Maybe you feel more tension in your muscles. Maybe you feel restless. And now go back into the moment where you felt love. You felt happy, you felt joy. Or maybe you felt at peace. And explore, how is the energy moving in your body? Do you feel the differences? Do you feel how one feels more opening and the other feels more contractive? The one feels more inviting and the other feels more like you want to hide yourself. Or you want to cry, or whatever it is. And now if you connect with love, try to give words to what it is that you feel in your body. Like I say, opening. Maybe it feels light. Maybe it feels warm. Maybe there's a powerful energy behind it, yet it's still very tender. And for everyone, these qualities will be different. But connect with that and explore that. And you can create a list for yourself on all the things, all the kind of words that you associate with this open love state. For me, that's openness, lightness, warmth, power, gentleness, tenderness. For everyone, that can be different. But once you have that list, you can start comparing certain decisions, certain choices, certain experiences to that love. And you can ask yourself, is this choice that I'm about to make, does this make me feel like love? Or does this make me feel like fear, the contraction? And by having this kind of list where you can compare it with, you are more able to make the loving choice. So if you're laying in bed and you're questioning, do I need to stay here right now? Or do I need to get up and do the work? Ask yourself, would doing the work make me feel opening? What do I feel if I think about doing the work? Does it secretly, even if I don't want to admit it, does it secretly open me? Does it make me feel light? Does it make me feel warm? Does it make me feel powerful? The whole list that you wrote down. If so, go do that. And then ask it with resting. If it's rest and you feel those things, go for resting. But often there's one choice that makes you feel the most of those loving feelings. And that's the choice that you can choose.
Damn. I think that was a great explanation. You've used the word ego a lot. In these psychedelic experiences that you facilitate, that you had yourself, that I had, We often talk about your ego and your true self. How can the ego prevent you from living a life where you feel on top of the world?
The ego is kind of to me, it's the human that you get to take care of. Like we all have the human, which is for me, it's Felicia. I'm so many years old. This is what I believe. This is what I've experienced. This is whatever. But the ego is also here to keep us safe. The ego is here for survival. And as long as we are safe, we are surviving. So that's what it's trying to live after. And then you have your true self. Your true self is the thing that goes beyond the human. When you are in meditation, for example, you can observe your thoughts, which means that you are not only your thoughts. You can go beyond it and just observe it. That's kind of the true self where you're tuning into. The true self is connected to everything and all. It's what's behind it all. And it's the soul, it's your true essence. Everyone has different wording for what that is. But the ego is just a little part of the puzzle of all that you are. It's not that you are not your ego. Clearly, we are. But it's just a little piece of who we are. But like I said before, the ego is here to protect us. The ego is here to survive. It's here to create safety and be comfortable. And that's how it can hold you back from living the life that you want. Because the life that we want lays beyond our comfort zone. It's within the unknown. Because what is known to us apparently isn't the life that we want. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking the question. So what is known to us, you're not going to find it. But what is known to us is what is safe to the ego. Because it can predict it. It knows what's going to happen. It knows how to be this person, this persona. It knows it all. So if you live from your ego and not from the thing that's beyond it, you're going to make the choices that are going to get you the same results and are going to keep you safe, and you will survive, but you won't thrive necessarily. If you go beyond it, you can acknowledge the ego. You can see it as a warning sign, maybe. Maybe it's scared about something, but what if this? What if that? Yeah, so I know, thank you for letting me know, what if, but I can handle it. I am able. Responsibility is I am able to respond. So you observe it, and then you take the responsibility of being your true self, your essence, your soul, the thing that goes beyond the ego, and you take action from that. You respond with the info. Yes, this can be a danger, but where we are now is not the life that I want. It won't make me thrive. So I'm going to choose the thing that might be a little bit more dangerous, whether that's emotional danger or physical danger, mental danger, whatever, because the reward on the other side that could be there is worth it for me. It makes me feel more open, more loving, more powerful, more whatever it may be. It's the choice that brings more aliveness for me. And therefore I'm going to take the risk of maybe getting in danger, but then I might live the life that I actually want to. It's all found in the unknown, and your ego doesn't want that. So that's how your ego is going to prevent you from living the life that you want. It's not meant to go beyond and step into the unknown and do the things that scare you, because the whole program is to keep you safe, which is beautiful. It just doesn't help you to get where you want to go.
And I feel like this ego kind of lives within this world of limiting beliefs or beliefs. Like in general. Why would I put in the effort if like nothing is certain? Or even when approaching a girl, you get in this totally stuck energy, and you can't get a word out of your mouth. Like, how can we live from this more lofty, bigger perspective in these challenging situations?
Practice makes progress. You need to start identifying with the thing that goes beyond the ego, whether that's your soul, the unchanging thing, however you want to call it, whatever resonates with you, but connect with that more often. And do that to such a degree that you actually start feeling and believing in your body of, oh, but the ego isn't just all that I am. And then in moments when you notice those beliefs come up or those fears come up or the protective mechanism trying to keep you safe and comfortable in the space that you are, because that's predictable. That's a moment where you can use that as okay, my ego is online right now. It's trying to keep me safe. It's trying to protect me. Thank you for that. First of all, acknowledge it, have love for it, have compassion for it. And then you can make a choice from your heart, from your soul, from your truth. And you say, okay, I know you're there. I know this might be scary. And yes, there might be an opportunity that I get hurt, whether that's emotionally or physically or mentally, doesn't matter. But the possible reward on the other side, even just me giving it a try, even just me allowing the joy in, even though I know there might be a chance that I'm not going to get it, is bringing me joy right now. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to choose the risk because the reward is worth it for me. And then you do it. And then maybe you get rejected by that girl and it's like, ooh! And then your ego comes online like, yeah, but I told you so. And then you start working with it and you let the ego just talk and talk and talk, and you hold compassion and hold space for it. And it's like, yeah, it was scary, but are we still alive? Are we still here? Yeah. What's the problem then? Like, we grow from this. Next time I can maybe do this and this and this, but I don't want it next time. No, but we are learning from this. We are growing from this. We are having new experiences. And this actually opens up the field that I might meet that woman that I have been wanting to. If I don't reach out to other people, I'm not going to get it. So I want that. You want that, right? You want to share your life with someone else. Yeah, I do. Okay, well, let's do it again then. Like, hold that compassion, hold that conversation with your ego, because it can be your best friend if you learn to work with it, but you need to practice stepping out of your ego, not being consumed in the experience of, I am the human, I am this, I believe this, and but to consistently take moments, whether it's just 3 breaths throughout the day, sporadically, or it's moments where you actually meditate, or you go into breath work, or you dance and you just let your mind turn off, or whatever it may be. Allow yourself consistently to step out of your ego for a bit, so that you get reminded that, oh, this is not all there is. And the more often you do that, the more you start identifying with the thing beyond it, and the more you get to make choices from that place instead of your ego.
I know that I had a spiritual experience where I connected with oneness and like the never-ending observer that is behind everything, and I'm on board.
Yeah.
But even then, it is still hard to not be consumed by the ego. How can someone who never had an experience like that ever like get to that place where he's not identifying with that?
Just because you haven't had an experience yet doesn't mean you can get to that. Because meditation might be difficult for a lot of people. When you first start, it's like, yeah, meditating doesn't work for me. I just keep thinking. Yes, your thoughts won't just shut off. It's about you observing your thoughts. But it can be difficult to kind of get into that and to enjoy it. I would more so recommend either taking psychedelics with a guided facilitator or breathwork. Because with breathwork, it allows you to kind of shut off your default mode network and the ego. And you get to notice what it's like to have your mind just be silent while you are still there. You are still observing all the sensations that you feel in your body from the breathwork, or the feelings that are going on, or like maybe you still hear the thoughts, but you hear it kind of echoing in your mind instead of actually being the thought. So breathwork is a beautiful tool to get those experiences and those little breaks. Even if it's the first time that you ever step out of your ego, the moment that you do that, you will feel like, oh, but there's something that goes beyond this little voice. Because I'm still here. I'm still experiencing this, even though I don't have any thoughts right now, or even though I hear it echoing in somewhere, I still am in the experience. So there must be something beyond it. And that's where you can start to explore it. But often we do need some form of an initiation or an activation, something that creates that spark of, there's something else. It can even be this podcast. It can even be someone hearing someone talk about it, and you feel that inner curiosity of, But just because you haven't had the experience yet doesn't mean you can't get there. And maybe meditation is difficult, but there are so many other tools, so many other experiences that you can have that will trigger that inner curiosity to want to explore this. And then it's just practice makes progress. The more you do it, the more easy it becomes.
I don't know, for some reason, this makes me think about these people on, some people on spiritual festivals that like have all the crystals, that have their whole room like staged up to the brim, like incense everywhere.
Yeah.
But still like shake like small chihuahua, all the spiritual shit.
I should be spiritual now, right?
I should be egoless right now.
Yeah.
And then like obviously like let's not make the same mistake like to say like, yeah, we're better, like we have like
No.
No, I'm not saying that we are, but like when we're so over identified with all the bells and whistles, like it is a big trap in the community, and because then you're still identified with the things you have and your appearance and like whatever.
Like the thing that I notice within the community with these people is that it's all up here. They don't let it land in their body. They don't digest the experiences they have and the insights that they gain. It's all up here. So then there's this insight of, we're all one, we're all whatever. But then it stays here. It doesn't become an embodiment where I start to treat you as I am, like as you are me. I still talk to you, to your ego, instead of the unchanging thing that's within you. That's the same unchanging thing that's within me. So when it comes to kind of this energy within the spiritual community, these people might have had a lot of experiences, do a lot of breathwork, do a lot of cacao ceremonies, do a lot of whatever. But then they move on with their day and they just continue in this floaty instead of actually allowing themselves to go into stillness and actually process of, okay, I had this experience, I had this insight. Now, what can I do to make steps in my present day reality that will help me to implement this instead of just keeping it up here? Because as long as you don't implement it in your day-to-day, it's all going to gather and your ego grows. That's kind of the spiritual ego. And then you think you know a lot, even though you know nothing. And that's also the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is I understand it, and wisdom is it's experienced, it's lived, like an embodied experience. So how you can start doing that is, for example, you have a breathwork experience or psychedelic experience or a cacao ceremony or something that activated you and initiated you and allowed you to gain insight or gain a new perspective. Allow yourself to marinate in it a bit. Don't go on straight to the next experience and to the next and to the next and to the next. Give yourself a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a break, and allow yourself to sit with, okay, with this insight, how would I now move? What would I do different? What kind of habits do I let go of? And what kind of things do I implement? What is something, like for example, you for the first time deeply connected with self-love and you felt it and it was so pure, it was so true. If you don't allow yourself the space and the time to bring that into your day-to-day life, you might start to create this idea of self-love, because over time the memory kind of shape shifts and whatever, because we just keep every time that you go back into a memory, it's not the actual memory anymore. It's the memory of the memory. So the more often that you go back into that memory, the more distorted that experience actually becomes. So when you have that experience and you just continue and continue and continue, you can start to see self-love as I'm buying myself all those crystals and I'm going to another cacao ceremony. I'm going to another activation. I'm doing da-da-da-da-da. But if you allow yourself the time and space to sit with it and to integrate it, you can start to look at yourself and think, okay, I had this beautiful self-love experience. What are the things in my life right now where I am not being loving to myself? What are the things that don't come from this place that I felt in this ceremony? It's like, okay, this, and this. What are the things that I can replace it with that are of genuine self-love and hold the frequency of what I experienced during the ceremony? And then you start to switch that in your day-to-day life. Or maybe it's you're reading a book and you had this beautiful insight. I had that, for example, with Nonviolent Communication. That's one of my favorite books that like activated me and was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And as I was reading that, he's giving so much examples, so much like, these are feelings, these are needs, this is what you need to do, this is how you communicate, this is whatever. But then if you just keep it up there and you don't actually do with it, it's like, oh, wow, that's so cool. A person can communicate very non-violently and really with so much compassion and love and whatever. But I am not that person. It's that person that can do it. But instead of that, you can look like, okay, so these are needs, these are feelings. I'm going to make myself a list of the feelings and the needs, and I'm going to put it in my pocket. And every time that I express something, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to look at it. So what am I feeling right now? I'm feeling, not that. Okay, yes, this I am feeling. Okay, I feel this and this and this, and my need is, and then you're looking through the needs, and this, okay. I feel this and this and this, and my need is da-da-da-da-da. The more often you start to practice that, the more it becomes integrated into your body, the less you need to have that paper, and at a certain point, it just happens. And that's how you bring it into your physical reality instead of keeping it up there. Then it's just like, oh, beautiful insight, moving on, up to the next book. Instead of, oh, beautiful insight, take a pause. What does that mean to me? How can I now take the steps, just like I read, to actually become that person instead of just, I know these people exist.
Recognizing versus like actually doing it.
Yeah.
Whenever I had this amazing insight or like, for example, the oneness, then I kind of linger on it for so long until it like really fucking clicks or something. And then, yeah, you start moving differently. But like, yeah, I just wanted to share that. Like that is kind of how I kind of do it. But it borders really much on like recognizing and then thinking, oh, I got it.
Yeah. Like it's a again, a nuanced space because you need the time to digest your experiences. That is like the main thing when it comes to integration. It's digest your experience. And whether you do that through giving yourself time and space where you don't have activations, where you don't have initiations, but you just allow yourself to sit with that one experience you had and you linger in it and lean into it as long as you can until eventually it kind of clicks or it fades away. And then it's like, okay, now I actually need to put in the work to get that experience again because it has faded away at this point. However you approach it, it's, again, for everyone is different. We are all different humans. That's what makes it so difficult
but
to sometimes.
It's good to get to the essence, right? Like because I have a little bit different way of digest. But like the main core point is like have some fucking time to digest your thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I also see people like going from spiritual festival to spiritual festival to spiritual festival, like having all these experiences, but then like not truly asking themselves like, what does that mean, right? What does it actually mean? Like,
what does it mean to me?
Like maybe I should quit my corporate job.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you just like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's also like on a nervous system level. We can't have activation after activation after activation. Your nervous system, like activation, whether positive or negative, it's an activation. Your nervous system gets dysregulated. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's meant to be able to get dysregulated, but it needs the time and space to get regulated again. Because if it doesn't, then that's where all your physical ailments and all the problems and disease and everything comes from. And the mental problems is because your nervous system can't freaking regulate. So if you have an activation, arousal, nervous system dysregulated, and then you go on to the next, and then you go on to the next, then you go on to the next.
Whether it's positive or negative.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How can your nervous system ever have the space to rest, to digest, to integrate that experience? And like, what does that mean to me? How am I gonna move now? How do I look at the world differently now after this experience? Because even for people, for example, who have traveled for a couple of months or for a long time, and they then come back into their home space, we all recognize that feeling of, it feels so different now. Like I feel like a different person as I just got back. Allow yourself that space. Get into, wow, it feels different now.
Linger.
And linger in that feeling instead of, okay, it feels different, let's go to the next thing. Because that's the integration on itself. Feeling that there's something different within you. Feeling that something has shifted. And the emotions that might come with that. Because maybe it brings a lot of joy and like, oh, I finally broke through it. But maybe it's a lot of grief because you realize of, whoa, I just got awakened to all this love. And now I realize that I haven't gotten that love all that time before, even though it was always available to me. That can hurt, that can get a lot of grief inside of you. But if you don't give yourself that space and that time to actually sit with what does this bring up for me after this activation, you're never actually going to digest it, never going to land. Your nervous system can't regulate. And it will only create more ughness and more stuckness and more ego and more things that you don't really want.
I feel called to share this because I think it's really, really fucking important. I think it has been probably the thing that has allowed me to get where I am today. Like I feel so much more peace these days than before, like 7 years ago when I was like fucking crying in the library because I was burned out. I think most stories that I hear of people when they got a lot of time when they were in college or in school or whatever, but then they start working. I just feel like when you're working a shit ton of hours, that is constantly, even more when you're not enjoying your work, that it's just very, very, very difficult to actually take the time and space to linger.
Yeah. Well, that's it. When you don't have the space to linger in it, that's when certain practices, rituals, tools can help you. That's when it might be beneficial to make that list for yourself so that you
Speed
have...
it up.
Yeah, so that even when you're at work, you can take that list and you can look at it. Or maybe it's a certain symbol that you create from the experience that you had that reminds you of the experience that you had or the insight that you had. And you put that on your desk while you're working so that every time that you look at it, it's a reminder of what is available, what is possible, what you experienced. Like it's for everyone has a different life. Everyone is different. So that's why it's difficult to give an exact how-to on how to do it. Because what works for one doesn't work for another. And when you don't have the time and space, take the small moments that you have and see how you can incorporate it within the things that you're already doing. And also with time, like we all have 5 minutes. We all have 10 minutes. Like we all can take 5 or 10 minutes for ourselves during a day. There are so many minutes in a day. Take 5 minutes, come on. If you can't do that for yourself, then that's already a big problem, because where's the love for yourself in that moment? Start there. Yeah. Start there. So if you can take 5 minutes or 10 minutes in your day where you just allow yourself to be completely present, just let it all go, fall into that effortless awareness, because awareness, presence, everything, it's not something you do, it's something you fall into by letting go. You allow it. So for just 5-10 minutes, give your mind a break, give your being a break, sit with just being. And maybe in that moment you can connect with the insight or the experience or whatever. And then all the other stuff, create special rituals, create practices, create tools, create symbols, create lists, do things that help you to remind yourself on the experience that you've been through so that you can stay connected with it. And it can also be, like, you can even create this anchor object where after you've had an experience, like I sometimes guide people through like multiple month journeys. And at the end, I like to give them a certain object where during the last session, we put all of our energy into it, the intention into it, the love, the insights, the growth, everything that we've been through. And we, with intention, put that within that object so that after we've gone through that journey, they can look at the object, they can feel into it, and be reminded of everything that they've been through, the growth that they've been through, the changes that they've made, the insights that they've had. And when you feel disconnected, take it, hold it, bring it to your heart, and just be with it for a bit. And sometimes it fades away, and that's also okay. Maybe at that point when it fades away, you are ready for your next activation, for your next teaching, for your next journey. But don't do it as everything is still extremely fresh. When everything is just activated, give yourself some space.
Yeah. Well, I think it it might have not been the most efficient way to do it, like the way I did it.
Yeah, because also that it's like you can linger in it without actually doing anything with it. That's also a possibility, but it's
like for my character that's very hard.
Yeah, for you it's very hard, but like for someone watching it, it's like it can also be an easy way out where it's like, oh, so I don't have to do anything. Oh, okay. And then I have an experience and then just I'm not going to do anything. For some people that might help. Try it out, I guess. But for other people, it doesn't help because they kind of use it as a way to just not really connect with it. But that's again, like you can also, it can be integration literally to talk about it with someone. It can be integration to journal about it. It can be integration to think about it, think about the experience, or like what is a specific insight you had, and to explore that even deeper. Like their integration can be all different kinds of things, whatever it is, to help you not only know it and understand it in your mind, but to feel and know it in your body. And then you can start to act from it in your day-to-day.
This feels like a natural conclusion, actually. Is there something you still feel called to share?
Whatever it is that you do, have patience with yourself and hold compassion for yourself. Because we are all on our own timeline. We are all on our own journey. And for some people, they have an activation and they immediately integrate it. For other people, it takes a while before it's fully digested. And both are okay. It's not like one is better than the other. Or they're also, if you've had a lot of experiences, but you still feel like you're not really fully embodying it, even though you do the work, even though you do whatever, there's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. I really want to make that clear because we are all on our own timeline and we all need to discover for ourselves what works for us as an individual. Just like I am a complex individual being, so is every other person on this earth, which means that we all have different approaches. We all have different things that work for us. And that can be frustrating to the ego because it's like, but I want an answer now and I want it fast and I want it to work always. But that's not how it works. And you can have that patience with yourself. Just because you've tried one thing and it's still not working doesn't mean that it's never going to work, that you're not going to find that one thing for you that actually resonates deeply with yourself. So have patience with yourself and know that you are on the right path, whatever path it is. You are at the exact right moment where you need to be in this moment. Even if you don't like it, you're at the right place. And learn to listen to yourself and find out what your language is, what your ways are to digest, what your ways are to start embodying it in your day-to-day. And everything that I've said throughout this podcast, you can experiment with, you can explore, you can try. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But the only way to find out is by exploring it yourself.
And everybody comes from different places. Yeah. Like there are people who have shit ton of trauma in their childhood. There are people who came out relatively unscathed, like I did. Like I gotta be honest, like I had a pretty good childhood, not complaining. So it might feel like people on social media like are all like winning, right? So yeah, I really agree.
Yeah. And that's also like some people have learned while they were younger how to regulate their nervous system. They have learned how to go from full activation back into digestion. If you haven't learned that, then you are starting here while they are already here. So don't compare yourself to who's here, because that's not fair. Compare yourself to yourself and where you have started from, and hold that compassion, because that's also, if you genuinely look at yourself and all the experiences you've gone through from the moment you were born until now, everything that you can remember at least, and you look at it face value as if it's a different person, you can't help but have compassion for yourself. You can't help but have respect for who you've become, because oh my God, what we have been through so much. In the micro moments, in the moments that you are fighting with your own ego, your own thoughts, your own feelings that no one knows about, all those micro moments add up to who you are now. And that's the only person you can compare yourself with, not the person that you see online, because they had a very different starting point. You don't know. And even if you think you know, you don't know. Just like other people don't know what's going on in your head constantly and in your being. So just stay connected to you.